Hi, Secret Seduction Sorority. So, I have just dropped my daughter off at school, and as I was walking back to my car, I did what I usually always do in the morning. I asked for some guidance about what I needed to share with the ladies in my community today. And the thing that came to me was that a lot of us are very used to being independent. And that is a great thing. That's a beautiful thing. And a lot of us have become independent because of not having any other choices, because of being the one who has to be the breadwinner and things like that. Going through divorces, going through breakups, going through different situations, having children that are depending on us to take care of them. And so it can be really, really easy as we become so independent. It can be really easy to start telling ourselves, "Hi, Sarah. Good morning, love." It can be so easy to start telling ourselves, "Hi, Sonia." To start telling ourselves that we don't, either that we don't need a man, or that we don't care whether we have a man or not, right? And part of that is because there are a lot of kind of things out in society that make you feel guilty, or like it's a weakness to want a good man, and it makes it seem like you don't love yourself or something like that. There's all this weird stuff that's out there about this, and that women end up feeling guilty about, and it's totally unnecessary, because that's why when I tell you, when we put our hand to our hearts and we say, "I am open and ready to be loved by a good man who is right for me," that's why when you say that, it feels so powerful. Because when you say that, sometimes you may not realize all of the ways and all of the things around you that are telling you that maybe it's weak to want that. We get this message like, maybe it's weak to want that. We're not supposed to say what we want. We're supposed to act like we're fine if we don't have it, and everything is okay, and all of that. The problem is, and some of it, I'll tell you the honest truth, some of it is from people that are trying to sell you something. I mean, honestly, that's what it is. It's like people manipulate or your feeling of weakness because they're trying to sell you something. And it ends up being a really painful thing for a lot of women, because we want something, but we're supposed to say we don't want it. We want something, but we're not supposed to admit that we want it. It's like if we admit that we want it, then we're not being strong, independent women, or we don't love ourselves enough, or something like that. And I want to just tell you that is a bunch of nonsense. That's completely ridiculous. You're allowed to want to be with a good man. You're allowed to want a loving, satisfying, stand the test of time, deep soul level committed relationship with someone. You're allowed to want that, and you're allowed to say that you want that. And you don't necessarily say that, of course, on a first date, because we've talked about that. But you are allowed to say that to the universe. You are allowed to put that out and say to the universe, "This is what I want. I want love. I want a deep, soulful, committed, stand the test of time relationship. I want that." And that doesn't make you weak for saying that you want that. It doesn't make you less of an independent woman for saying that you want that. It doesn't make you less of a feminist. If you're a feminist, it doesn't make you less of a feminist for saying that you want that. You're allowed to want what you want, and you're allowed to have it. And if you don't say that you want it, if you don't say it to yourself, if you don't admit it to the universe, if you don't say that that's what you want, then it's going to be really hard to bring it in. Because what I've seen happen over and over again is for women who tell me, "Well, I'm fine if I don't have a man in my life." There's a point that I do understand that you have to be good with your life. Like, a man coming into your life needs to feel like someone special to share it with, not the whole focus of everything you do every day, right? It needs to be that this man is coming into your life because you have such a full, rich, beautiful life that you want to share it with somebody. You want to have a companion to be in your life. But you need to be able to say that at least to the universe, because what I've noticed that happens is when women are very, when they defined their identity by their independence, what happens is that they send a lot of mixed signals, because they're not sure that part of the reason that they're doing that is because it's in the past, they have relied on a man and they've had their heart broken and they've been disappointed and they've developed this block that says, I will never trust a man again. So then they don't realize that that's what's going on because it's happening on a deep subconscious level. And then they go into dating or they try to have a new relationship and they get to a point where they hit a wall and they're terrified and they can't understand what's happening, but they know they can't move forward. And it's because they're fighting against this deep subconscious block that is saying, I will never trust a man again. And that's impossible to have. It's impossible to have a loving partnership with someone if you have a deep belief that you can never trust them. It's just impossible to create that. And what happens a lot of times is, if that's on a deep level, then you bring people into your life that back up that belief, that reinforce that belief. So you bring new people in your life that do things to make you distrust them. You bring new people into your life that mirror that same belief back to you. So it's really important to look and see what's going on in your subconscious, because if you have a hard time saying, I can trust men, there are good men out there. If you have a hard time saying that or believing that, or saying like, it's okay for me to have a good man, having the right partner makes me stronger, you know, just like you'll make him stronger, he'll make you stronger. That's what having the right partner is about. If it's hard for you to say those things, you especially need to put your hand on your heart and give yourself some healing. Bring some healing in. Put your hand to your heart and say, I am open and ready to be loved by a good man who is right for me. And let that healing come into your heart. When you repeat that to yourself, when you take some time during the day to do that, to put your hand on your heart and to say that, you start to bring healing into your energy yourself. And if you do that, once you do that for, like if you're doing that every day, if you do that for a whole month, you'll start to make changes at that subconscious level. So just know that you wanting a partner, that desire inside of you to have a good partner, to have a good man in your life as your partner, it wouldn't be there if you weren't supposed to have it. You would not have that desire. God is not so cruel as to give you a desire that is impossible to fulfill. So I want you to understand that if you have that desire, it's because that is out there for you. And it's that part of you calling out to its equivalent in the world. Because he's out there. He's out there right now. And in the same way that you are desiring for him to come into your life, he is desiring for you to come into his life. In the same way that you're making your love list, he's making a mental list of what he wants. What he wants in a wife, in a partner that he can adore. That he can just cherish, and that he can be his queen in his life, you know. So just know that what's that desire in your heart, it's not there for no reason. It is calling out to that person who is there for you, and he is there for you. He's calling out to you in the same way, or you wouldn't feel it so strongly. Okay, he's out there. And know that if you had a soulmate in your life in the past and that person's not in your life anymore, that doesn't mean you're done with love. It's possible for you to have more than one soulmate. We have more than one soulmate. What happens is everybody has more than one soulmate in the world, because a soulmate is somebody who you had an agreement with before you came into this life that you had something you were going to learn here together. And that might be about love, it might be about family, it might be about money, it might be about whatever all of these different things. You can have a soulmate who's actually a family member because you both agreed you were going to come here to learn something together. That's what a soulmate is. But it's been kind of reinterpreted that it only means in the romantic sense. It doesn't only mean the romantic sense of a soulmate. But even in terms of a romantic soulmate, you have more than one in the world. So never feel that love has passed you by and love is done with you. It doesn't matter what's happened in your past. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you have kids, if you don't have kids, or where you live, or any of those things. The universe is big enough to plan around anything. The universe is big enough to change any circumstances that need to be changed to bring the love that you need to have into your life. But getting your mindset on board is what's super important. It's so crucially important. So let go of those thoughts that maybe it's weak to want a partner, that maybe that desire is a weakness in you. Maybe it's you not being strong enough. Maybe it's you not being independent enough. Let go of those thoughts. Don't punish yourself with those kinds of thoughts because they're untrue and they're unnecessary and they mess up your energy. So the way that you combat that, the way that you start to change that and make that shift is to put your hand there for your heart, and let's just do it together. And whether you're watching it live, whether you're watching it as a replay later on, just put your hand over your heart with me together. Rest your hand there on your heart. And I want you to take a deep breath in. I want you to let it out. And I want you to say, I am open and ready to be loved by a good man who is right for me. Okay, loves? And take that with you out to your day today. Take that with you and know that your readiness tells the universe that it's time. You tell the universe it's time for this person to come. And a lot of times we think we have to wait on the universe to do things or to move or to, for the timing of that to be right. The universe is waiting on you. So when you take a step forward, you say, I'm ready. So be ready today for that good to come into your life. And if you feel like there's more that you need to do before you're going to be ready, that's okay too. If you've just gotten out of a relationship and you have a lot of pain or grief, you don't have to move on right away. And in fact, moving on right away or even trying to forgive that person right away is a spiritual shortcut. You can't take a spiritual shortcut if you really want to get to the right places. So if you do have anger over the way that you were treated, if you were treated disrespectfully in the past by an ex, or if you have pain and grief from an ex, it's okay to stop and just give yourself what you need for your own healing before you think too much about bringing this new person into your life. Because as you become more healed and as your self-love grows, they will come to you. The right people will come into your life. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. I hope that you have a fantastic day. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm sending you so much love today. And I want to hear from you. So post what's going on with you in the group. If you... I'm watching the kids at the school running around because they're having PE. I just dropped my daughter off. So if there's something that you're struggling with today and you want to post about that in the group and get some feedback, I would love to help you with that. And I want to tell you also, it's not too late for you to come into Soul Love Society if you want to be part of my private membership group and get a little bit more individual feedback and coaching on different things. The bonuses are not part of that anymore. So you've missed the bonuses if you haven't come in yet, but you can still come into the group and do the energy healing webinars and download the love block clearing audios. You just go to soullovesociety.com and you can sign in right there. So have a beautiful, beautiful day. Give yourself permission to have the love you want. That's the biggest thing that I can tell you today is give yourself permission to have the love that you want on every level. It's your time. You deserve to have it and you can have it. So just thank you so much for being part of this community. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll check in with you again soon. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye, love.
I want to share a secret with you. It is a lot easier to manifest your divine life partner soulmate than you think. The trick is to clear the old stuff out of your energy first, because that makes your energy magnetic to new love. So it's not even like you have to work really hard to bring this person in. You just have to clear the old stuff out and then have a clear intention of what you want so that this new person can come into your life. Otherwise, if you haven't done that, you are manifesting all the time from this energy of fear and shame and anger and confusion and grief. So, if those things are in your energy right now, that's what you're actually manifesting from all the time, so don't do that. Download my free ebook, The Heartache Cure, at theheartachecure.com and start to turn that around right now so that you can bring in the divine life partner soulmate that your heart desires and craves.